Hi, Chana. So you may notice I'm in the same clothes, and that's because for us people who work really, really hard, we don't get to sleep. But you should always sleep, okay? Anyway, so this story is about a little girl named Chana. No joke, it's a true story. And it goes like this. So there was a girl named Chana, and one day she got down from her bed, and she went underneath the bed to grab a jar. And the jar was filled with coins. And she dumped out the jar of coins, and she counted all the coins inside. And then she took the coins and she put them back in the jar, and she dumped it out again. And she counted it. And then she took the coins, put it back in the jar, and she dumped it out again. She counted it 3 times. She was happy with the way she counted and what number she got, and she puts it back in the jar and seals it up, goes out the back door of the house, goes across the backyard, through the back house, into the other neighbor's yard, and onto the street, crosses the street, gets to a pharmacy. She goes to the back of the pharmacy and walks through the door and stands right where she hopes the pharmacist can see her. Anyways, the pharmacist didn't see her. He was too busy talking to a customer. And he's talking and talking, and then another customer comes, and he's talking and talking, and another one comes, and she's like, why isn't he looking at me? And so she starts to shuffle her feet back and forth, and he's not noticing. And she goes, ahem, 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 clearing her throat, but now he pays attention. And he looks down, and he goes, little girl, what do you want? Don't you see I'm talking to someone? So she says, I was hoping I could talk to you. And he's like, what do you want? This is my brother. I haven't seen him in 2 years. We're just getting together. Can't you give us a moment? And the brother bends down and, gives a sign to the pharmacist and says, I've got this. And asks, what is it that you want, little girl? She's like, I'd like to buy a miracle. He says, what? She says, yeah, people come in here all the time and they get different remedies. They get different things that make them better. And I need to buy a miracle. So he says, what do you need a miracle for? So she says, well, my brother has this thing in the back of his head, and she was talking about a tumor, and my parents, they cry every single night because they know that what he needs is an operation, but they can't afford it. So I saved up all my money, and I really, really hope that I could buy a miracle from the pharmacist. So he says, how much have you got there, little girl? So she raises up her jar and she says, $1.11. And he says, you know what? That's exactly what you need for a miracle. And he raises up the girl and says, I think you got a deal. Sure enough, she'd been talking to the best neurosurgeon in the country. His name is Carlton Armstrong. And he ended up performing the procedure on her brother for $1.11. And sure enough, the boy got better and the family was ecstatic. So just remember that you should do everything you can, and when you do that, Hashem will help and you'll get your miracle.